Glenn, did you come across Jack too much?
Not too many times, actually, but when I did, he was a real character, and yeah, very, very sad day, and football's lost a legend.
Legends become an overused word in sport. Jack Charlton was certainly one. So Norwich City cannot afford to lose this game. They know that. They did play better. They went ahead after 4 minutes at Watford, but ended up losing the game anyway. Their lead only lasted 6 minutes. That was part of the problem. If you want to enjoy this game without the added enhanced sound and just the stadium noise, go to BT Sport Extra 1 HD. The players again making their powerful statement against all forms of racism. And Norwich getting us underway here on this carpet of a pitch on what is a lovely summer's day in East Anglia. Norwich City dominated the early stages last week here against Brighton, but they got hit by a really good goal, and Brighton held on for 3 vital points. West Ham will look to go away with the points today, and Glenn, I think if they get them, they're nearly there, aren't they?
Oh, I think so, yeah. They've got a real good game next week as well, at home to Watford. So I think, talking to Dave Moores just before the game there, and I could see he was really up for this game, thinking this could be a significant 3 points if they can just get it today and make themselves safe.
Not playing that long towards Antonio, but it doesn't get to him. Here's the Cuban winger. Hernández has been brought back into the starting lineup just recently. Made a couple of changes, in fact, for the Watford game. They brought in Vrancic as well to play in midfield. He's usually been on the bench. And Stiepermann playing in the number 10 role. That's been a bit of an issue, really, for Norwich City this season. One of many. Here is Vrancic. Just overrunning it in midfield and getting caught by Declan Rice. And here's Jared Bowen. He's made a good impression signing from Hull City, and this is a really powerful run from him.
A really good run, wasn't it? Nice little change of pace. Just kept going and got himself into that 18-yard box, and he's claiming it was a penalty there, but I think he just overrun it. Again, just got in behind that Norwich back four too easily.
Having said that, West Ham themselves haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 14 games. Beaten by Jay Rodriguez's header, a splendid header in midweek. Vrancic to chip one in behind, and Lewis is furthest forward here, the left back. He's quick, but not that quick.
Yeah, it was a good run, actually. It just needed to be on the angle to pass a little bit. It was just too straight. Just went into keeper's area too easily. But a good run from Lewis.
Godfrey won the header. One of the youngsters they brought through here. There have been a few of them, and of course there'll be covetous eyes maybe cast at a few of the Norwich players if they do go down, which does seem very probable. Here's Michail Antonio. Good work from him, and nearly squeezed in as well by Soucek, arriving from midfield.
Well, Antonio does fantastic out on that left-hand side. You know, he's a winger as well, isn't he, at times? He's comfortable out there. They let him come inside the two Norwich defenders there. It wasn't good play, but Soucek just gets himself in behind that the two centre-backs. There's no talking. A little bit fortunate to actually Norwich. They didn't go one down.
He's got a couple of goals in the last 3 matches. Soucek keeps turning up in the opposition penalty area from midfield. Looks a threat. Here's Tim Klose. Missed nearly all the season, but because of the break for the COVID-19 pandemic, is fit to play some part in it right at the end. We do still have Christoph Zimmermann out and Grant Hanley back, so the options in defence pretty limited for Daniel Farke. Here's Tettey, born in Ghana but played for Norway before retiring from international football. He's been around Norwich for 8 years. Seen all their topsy-turvy fortunes in that time. Godfrey intercepted well. Here's Stiepermann. Not given the time he wanted there to pick a pass. He's been mostly out of the team this season, Stiepermann, having really starred in the Championship last year when Norwich were really good. Got 94 points, and they've more or less gone with the same side this year. Attracted some criticism in some quarters, not all, for maybe not giving it more of a go. What do you think, Glenn?
Well, I think when you're in the Premier League, you've got to try and do everything to stay in there. But I do understand a little bit. There's a bit of clarity off the pitch and on the pitch, really, with the whole club, with the manager, the staff, the players. You know, it sends out the wrong signal in some ways, but you've got to look at the club long term. And I think you know, there's certain clubs that have spent a lot of money which might end up still going out of the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's part of Norwich City's thinking. Good housekeeping, good probability of coming back. They look to keep most of this team. Might get 1 or 2 bits for players like Lewis, who was on the ball there. Maybe Aarons, Godfrey. Cantwell, of course, who's on the bench today and has done well this season. Here's David Moyes. His 542nd Premier League game as a manager now. Only Arsene Wenger, Sir Alex Ferguson and Harry Redknapp have done the job more. Fornals up to Mark Noble. Mark Noble closing in on 500 games for the club. A player who used to bunk into the ground as a kid, living just round the corner from Upton Park. Vrancic here.
Pukki's really frustrated. He's made a great run in between the two centre-backs for West Ham, and Vrancic didn't even see him.
10 Premier League games without a goal for Teemu Pukki. He made an electric start to the season as well. Now Antonio slid by Soucek, but slid wide.
Again, the same combination, you know, Antonio going out on that left-hand side, getting that space, pulls it back lovely for Soucek. He's tried to just drill it in the bottom corner, isn't he? Side foot. Tried to pass it in the corner. It's not a bad effort, really, but he's got to hit the target, really, from there. But another good move from West Ham.
They do have an option to buy him from Slavia Prague for £13 million, and you'd have to say that is an option they're probably going to exercise. Noble with the little flick, you could see the idea, not quite the right angle.
Well, again, it was Soucek that had found himself in the box, and he had oceans of space. If Mark Noble's pass is better, he's in.
Got a couple of goals for West Ham, Soucek, but he'd also scored 10 for Slavia Prague this season before arriving in London.
I think it suits him today as well, having that extra midfield player, Mark Noble, going in there and tightening things up, so allowing him to get himself in the penalty area.
West Ham did play well in their last away game, drawing 2-2 at Newcastle. They felt they should have won it. They were ahead twice in the game. But that's the only point they've taken away since David Moyes has taken over. They have had some stiff away tasks, to be fair, mostly against teams in the top half. Tettey. Vrancic. Hernández. Nearly something for Stiepermann. Didn't quite fall for him. Best yet from Norwich. Laid off to Buendía. And then Vrancic's effort fell over as he hit it, really.
Yeah, better from Norwich though, wasn't it? Good build-up play. A bit of pattern of play on that right-hand side. Plenty of yellow shirts in the box. And this is a great defensive block there from Diop. Super block to get across there and just challenge the space in front. And there's the final shot, which doesn't hit the target, but a better from Norwich.
Norwich, who are in their 8th stint in the top flight, going all the way back to the 70s, even slipped down to League One for a time, a decade or so ago. Crossing, Antonio took the save from Krul. He nearly did it there with his toe cap, Miguel Antonio.
Well, this is a fantastic cross from Cresswell, it really is. He has a quick glance, he gets in behind, it's a great run, he has one look and he whips it in there perfectly for Antonio, and he gets that little bit of a half touch, doesn't he, on it, and it's a good save from Krul in the end.
All business early on here, West Ham United. They know the stakes are high. It's gone off a Norwich head behind for a corner on the other side now. If both West Ham and Watford win in these lunchtime kickoffs today, it's going to be very, very hard for the bottom three. That's flicked on, and they do have the lead now. Antonio, after the near post flick on, taken very, very well indeed on the turn, and West Ham United have the lead, and they can smell survival.
Well, it looks so simple, doesn't it? It's a little near post flick on from Diop. It just gets across the defender there, a little bit of movement comes out, just a little touch there, and Antonio manages to stay on top of it and keep over the top of it. It's not as easy as it looks, that ball coming in there. He's just had to keep a calm head, and ball drops on his right, his favoured right foot, and good technique to put the ball away. But there's the little deft touch there from Diop. Once you get that touch on the near post, it nullifies the goalkeeper and you're in trouble.
West Ham getting the payoff for a great start. Third goal in the last 4 games, that for Miguel Antonio, coming good at an important time of the season.
No, he's been really consistent, hasn't he? The last 3 or 4 games that I've seen West Ham play, he's been excellent. And as I say, he likes to go out and drift out to the wide positions as well. And the balance is good because Soucek then makes runs into the box. So it's those two link up really well.
Here's Pukki. Frustrated so far, all his runs coming to nothing. Aarons, and then Tettey. Pukki to play it wide. Cross doesn't find any of the targets in yellow shirts. Norwich City are the only team in Europe's top 5 leagues not to win a single point this season from losing position. So they're not exactly comeback kings. Stiepermann trying to pick a pass. A stage like this, Norwich City will be going down today. But while we're issuing statistics, which we don't like to do too much, but it is an important one. You were saying it beforehand, you were surprised, Glenn. West Ham have dropped 24 points from winning positions.
That's an incredible stat, that is. It really is. Normally, you know, when you take the lead, you don't lose that amount of points. 24 is colossal, really. And that's probably one of the reasons why they're down where they are.
Enough to drive David Moyes to distraction, that kind of thing. If they can end their run without keeping clean sheets here, they'll have the points they so desperately need. They would have fancied themselves to have gotten something, and they probably should have done against Burnley. They were largely denied by some brilliant defending and a wonderful goalkeeping display by Nick Pope. No missed chances, though. That's Rice looking to spread the ball, but Pukki getting back to half-out. He's been in and out of the side, Teemu Pukki, lately, which would have been unthinkable before Christmas. Good goal by West Ham. Don't see that tactic used so much these days, do you? The little near post flick on.
Yep, that's gone out of the game, hasn't it? You know, I don't know whether it's because a lot of teams zonal mark now from corners, but it proves today it still works. You get that touch on the near post, and it's very difficult to defend the second ball.
I remember going way back when Arsenal used to do it all the time, didn't they? Steve Bold with little near post flick on.
Well, yeah, Tony Adams as well. They had some sights in there, but you knew what was coming, but it was difficult to stop.
And it was difficult for Norwich to stop them as well. It's one of those chances, really. Antonio could easily have blasted that several rows back, but he kept it well under control. For the long throw this time, Antonio, who is a versatile character, he's played all over the place for West Ham. And looking for another flick on the near post there. Noble tries to spread it. Aarons cuts it out. You can tell with Norwich that levels of belief are understandably low.
Yeah, I don't see any difference in the way they've been playing all season. You know, it's the same style of play. It's rolling it out from the back, from Krul, from the goalkeeper. They're putting themselves under a lot of pressure trying to get through the pitch, and I think that's been their problem over the course of the season. There's certain games when, perhaps not West Ham at home, but certain games through the season where they have to, as Rio was talking about it in the studio earlier, tuck the belt in sometimes, play a little bit different. They fight across midfield, go there and get a point if they can. They haven't ever played that way. They're an open football team, and they're a team that you look at and you think, oh, I'd like to play against them.
Yeah, they haven't looked quite streetwise enough on occasion. One down here for Fornals, and Antonio looking to work something again from Soucek, who does give West Ham a slightly different dynamic, coming from deep positions and getting ahead of the forward on occasions as well.
Yeah, well, sometimes they play with a number 10 and he's in a deeper role, maybe with next to Rice, and he can't really get in the box too many times. But this setup is a bit different, you know, with Mark Noble dropping in there, and he's pressing now, Mark Noble, at the top. He's putting pressure on the centre-backs, but he will drop into midfield in free play, and that allows Soucek to get in that box. Already he's been in the box 3 times, he's nearly scored twice.
There's Mario Vrancic. Norwich, Pukki to Buendía, and here's Hernández with an opportunity, just ran away from him, and very quickly off his line, Lucas Fabianski.
Yeah, another little half opportunity there. If he takes the ball on his thigh and cushions it, he's in. But it just shows you, you know, Norwich now twice they've got in behind West Ham. There's opportunities there if they stay patient.
is noble and plenty of space. Good return ball from Antonio. Skipping through. He scored on this ground. In fact, in West Ham's last Premier League visit, 2-2 draw. Fornals. And now Cresswell to cut this back. Antonio with another volley.
Another really good cross, wasn't it? A little cutback from Cresswell. He's looked. There wasn't enough space to put it in between the keeper and the two centre-backs, so he pulls it back. It was a difficult one for Antonio on his left foot as well, but just behind him. But again, you don't mind if you're David Moyes, you're seeing claret and blue shirts on the end of a ball in the 18-yard box.
Diop won the header. Pukki's looking for those angled balls in behind, which served Norwich City so well last season, and at times at the beginning of this season, remember, they beat Manchester City 3-2 here. Extraordinary day. Fredericks. West Ham made a pretty good start to the season as well. They were up in the top 6 early on, then fell away. And now Pellegrini lost his job, and David Moyes has come in, and it's been a bit of a struggle, in truth.
They've got a lot of talent in their squad, West Ham. They really have. It's whether they can play in this battlefield down the bottom, you know, for a relegation fight. I think I look at their squad, look at their bench there. You know, you've got real talent on the bench, and I would imagine if West Ham had less pressure on them, those players would flourish.
Signings haven't worked out that well as well, have they, really? They bought Sebastian Haller for 45 million, record signing. He's only got 7 goals. And you'd have to ask the question, would he be in the starting lineup even if he was fully fit with Antonio up there and playing this system?
Probably not. What I've seen of Antonio in the last 3 or 4 games, he's been brilliant up there. He really is. You can play the ball into him, he can hold it up, but also he can go in behind. He's got the pace to search in behind the back four.
Fredericks up towards Antonio. Linesman's flag went up. It might have touched Antonio's hand, that.
Yeah, I think as he tried to bring it down, it's just caught his arm, isn't it?
As we well know, there can't be a goal after that. Godfrey played it forward. And now Antonio's got a one-on-one here if he can get this right. And it will fall here for Bowen. And it's an important challenge by Godfrey, otherwise that could have been 2.
Well, it was, and it's poor defending again from Norwich. They've got the ball, they're on the attack, and the 2 centre-backs are split. And look how open now. They give the ball away. Antonio does really well. Nice little, tries to backheel it actually to Bowen. But in the end, decent recovery defending, but that chance really shouldn't have developed.
Stiepermann towards Pukki, won't get there because Ogbonna is there. Angelo Ogbonna was on duty for the pre-match interviews today. You might have caught him chatting to Lindsay Hipgrave. It's 5 years, almost to the day, since he signed from Juventus. Buendía. Stiepermann back to Vrancic. Clever little ball, that. Buendía. Jamal Lewis, so far so good from Norwich in this move. Pukki! A rare-headed chance for him.
Yeah, again, decent build-up, wasn't it? And this time coming down the left, Lewis does get himself forward, doesn't he? And he's up there very early. Little pull-back ball. Not enough purchase on it, is it? It was a difficult one for Pukki. He's just pulled off the defender, but he's got a really difficult task to get that ball in the net from there.
Time for the drinks break, and gives me a chance to remind you we've got Manchester United against another of the relegation strugglers, Bournemouth, today at 2:30 on BT Sport 1 HD and Ultimate. Bournemouth picking up that useful point though against Spurs, a game they feel they might have won as well. Liverpool against Burnley is our game today, I should tell you. But week-old information there I was giving you about Manchester United and Bournemouth. It is Liverpool and Burnley later on. Burnley are on a great run. This is the goal.
Yeah, there's the touch and there's the volley. It's a really good technique, isn't it? He hasn't panicked, just kept his cool, made sure he got good contact on it. And there's Dan Farker just saying, who's picking up? Who's picking up? Frustration again. This is what these drinks breaks are really turning into a timeout, and I think it's so important as a manager. It's a great opportunity if you're playing well to keep the players active and playing in the same pattern, but if you're not playing so well, it really can be useful. There's a part of you as a manager's head thinking, I hope they keep that in from just 1 minute of a drinks break, and for the future it's not a bad idea. It's really like a timeout.
The Premier League have made the point that they're a bit worried about the players not conforming to the social distancing rules when that drinks break is on, and they do make the point too that that minute is being used to sanitize the balls and the goalposts, which is another reason for it being there. Just to remind you, it is Liverpool-Burnley today, 2:30, BT Sport 1 HD. We've got Newcastle against Spurs for you on Wednesday at 5:30 on BT Sport 1 HD and Ultimate as well. Crystal Palace against Manchester United is our Thursday evening offering. And we'll also have Southampton against Brighton that night for you too, in the FA Cup semi-final. Very busy week, isn't it? Next Saturday evening, Arsenal against Manchester City, live from Wembley. Dwight Gale has scored for Newcastle at Watford just to thicken the plot a little bit more. Watford level with West Ham on 31 points at the start of play. So that's more good news for the Hammers, really. Norwich can stay alive today with a draw from this game if Watford are beaten. There's a long way to go. Hernández. There's Vrancic. Jamal Lewis, scorer of the winning goal the last time Norwich did win against Leicester City here. Cracking goal it was too. Aarons. Lewis. Good looking ball in. Better spell this for Norwich. Looked like a bit of a handball there. Yeah, it was from Aarons.
Yeah, nice patient play from Norwich, changing from right to left to right, and eventually they get the ball in the box. What they are doing is they're getting plenty of yellow shirts in the penalty area. It's just about picking the right cross, the right bit of quality.
Here's Antonio. Did that go out of play? No, it didn't apparently. Free kick for certain.
He's battled hard for that free kick there, Antonio. Look at that, shows his strength. Might have gone out with it there. But eventually, Klose had to bring him down.
It looked suspiciously like it, but I have to say the referee's assistant is a good deal closer than us. About a yard away, in fact. Here's Jared Bowen. West Ham got another little natty routine from this, I wonder. This is Stiepermann always just caught on the wind and going out of play.
That's a poor delivery, isn't it? On time to put that in that 6-yard box from there, you're unopposed, 10 yards from your wall, and that's a poor technique.
No problems for Tim Krul, the goalkeeper. You went in goal here once, didn't you, for Tottenham?
I certainly did. We got a 2-2 draw as well, and I think it was Kevin Bond scored a penalty past me.
And you scored in the same game?
I scored, yeah, I scored at that end, and then about 2 minutes later I had to go in goal. I think it was three times that season I ended up in goal.
Of course, those were the days when there was only one sub.
One sub, yeah.
So they never named a goalkeeper as the sub. Somebody had to be half good at doing it. Were you good?
Well, three away performances and 2 wins and a draw, so I'm happy with that record.
The unknown string to Glenn Hoddle's bow. Here's Aarons with the crossing. Too far for Stiepermann. It's not really away yet, though. Hernández waiting for that to come down. He's done pretty well. Lewis to play it back in, and Hernández could not get the right angle to direct that goalwards.
Yeah, it was coming in pretty quick at him, but it was good. It was a clever ball, really, from Lewis. He looks as if he's going to just smash it across the 6-yard box, but he pulls it back, and Hernández just couldn't sort his feet out. He lays it in there, and there's Lewis, just got a little, pulls it back, and he tries to get a little back flick with his left foot, but couldn't sort his feet out quick enough.
Got 9 goals and 9 assists in the promotion campaign last year, and there'd be every expectation if he stayed around that he might do something similar again next season back down in the 2nd tier. There's Vrancic. Picked a nice ball through the lines for Pukki. Now Aarons, a better spell this for the bottom side Norwich. Stuck on 21 points. West Ham could tell them that they once went down with twice that amount, 42. Vrancic is muscled out of it by Fornals, but the free kick's been given here, some 25 yards out.
Yeah, Fornals is looking at the ref going, what? I think Vrancic just got caught out a little bit. Didn't have the awareness that Fornals was coming on his right side, but it's a 50-50 call for me, that one. Some you'll get, some you won't.
Given by referee Kevin Friend, who's handling a Norwich game for the 6th time this season. Including the 3-2 win over Manchester City we were talking about. Now then, here's an opportunity for Norwich maybe, with Vrancic and Buendía hovered over the ball. Vrancic is never dipping fast enough.
Get the dip, could he, to get it to come down, and I think Fabianski had it covered actually. He was going across nice and early, but quite enough conviction to hit the target.
Good lead by Godfrey. Here's Declan Rice. Fredericks should be the goalkeepers, and it is. A painful fall for Miguel Antonio, though they've got some rather soft landing stuff behind that goal.
He's saying he was pushed. It's a poor ball in, really, from Fredericks, isn't it? With his time and space, and he's saying he got nudged there, steered away. Let's say it was Aarons.
No ball's caught from behind there by Stiepermann. Attack goes on. Bowen here, chance! Just past the post. Nearly for West Ham, nearly for Bowen. And that will be a yellow card, I think, for that challenge by Stiepermann. You can't complain about that either.
There's a lovely little run again from Bowen. He comes inside, he doesn't stay wide all the time, it's on his left foot as well and doesn't hit the target. There's the late foul there on Mark Noble, but there's Bowen. He's come inside, isn't he, from the outside. He's out wide 1 minute, and next minute he joins the centre forward, and he's looking dangerous when he drives in through the penalty area.
Loads of goals for Hull, top scorer last 2 seasons, and he'd got 17 this year before he left. Anybody at Hull would have begrudged him his chance to play in the top league. Although they've missed him, of course. Just caught on the wrong foot there, Buendía. There's 1 or 2 signs of Norwich growing into the game.
I think all season they've played like this here. Their approach of play, some of their patterns of play is good. It's that final last third, isn't it? A little bit of a cool and calmness to take any sort of chance that they get.
And they do play with both fullbacks pushed very, very high. There's often room down the channels. The opposition to develop attacks. Here's Noble. Cresswell has come forward here for West Ham. Godfrey's there to do the covering. Have to watch his step there, Stiepermann, now that he's picked up that yellow. Loose ball that from Fredericks, misunderstanding between him and Bowen. Something on here for Norwich if they can get it right. Pukki carrying on, thought he was fouled around the edge. Referee waves it away.
That was a great chance for him to slide Superman in.
Meanwhile, at the other end, here's Bowen on his right foot, which is not quite as good as the left one.
Again, Bowen gets on the outside too easily. Left 1v1 in the penalty area. But Pukki really should have just slid Stiepermann in. Really should have done. It was a great break there. I'm expecting him to lay it there. He tries to take it on. Gets grabbed back a little bit. Might have been a foul. Soucek's right arm there that just drags him there. There's the foul.
It is a foul, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a foul. It's on the blind side of the referee. But if he'd have played the ball earlier, I think Norwich would have been in.
Not only a foul, it should have been a yellow card as well, really, for stopping the attack from Soucek. Got away with that one, I think. And take it. Norwich have given it away. Aaron's ball is just a bit loose. Fornals. Room here for the Spaniard. Trying to go between the 2 defenders and make sure that he wasn't getting through.
He ends up just clipping that. It goes for the nutmegs there. Fornals, there's the little contact there from Buendía.
Just a word from Kevin Friend, no more for Buendía. Must have been close.
I think it must have been close, but there was I don't know if he actually really stuck his leg out to bring him down. I think he was just trying to get back and give some defensive help. He certainly clipped him.
Norwich have improved in this game, but West Ham do look capable of adding to the goal that they've scored for certain. Mark Noble to take it. Soucek couldn't grow tall enough, and he's pretty tall.
Yeah, he just gets an inch high there. He can just knock it back again. The goal, it was just too high for him. Nice little bit of movement, pulls off the back. And as you see there, just can't get his neck round it to knock it back.
Aaron's back to Ben Godfrey. Tim Krul has had a new lease of life as Norwich City goalkeeper, including saving 2 penalties in 1 game this season against Manchester United. It didn't do Norwich any good, they still lost it.
I think that's been a problem for Norwich as well, when things like that happen and you still lose the game, or you play really well as a team, you create a little bit and you can't win when you're playing well. These teams down the bottom, it's very difficult to play average or to not be at it and still get a good result.
Klose. Slipping behind, here's Stiepermann. Tall, rangy midfield player. Good idea. Cresswell was there to intercept, but that wasn't bad again from Norwich. Tettey. And Pukki broke down. Rice brings it away. Counters on here for West Ham. Noble. He made his first ever start for West Ham 16 years ago against Norwich City. Soucek. Oh. He put his head in his hands after that.
He's not happy with himself, is he? Look. I suppose if you're going to give it away, give it away in the final third.
Vrancic, loose ball. Pukki with a slightly accusing glance behind. Cresswell, nice ball that. Antonio. Rice with a chipped ball for Bowen. West Ham looking for only their 4th away win of the season in the Premier League, and Soucek. It's a great effort and a really good save too from Krul.
Yeah, it was a good save, wasn't it, Ian? Yeah, but again, Soucek in that penalty area, where he wants to be. He's a real threat. It's a lovely little ball in here, touch there. Fredericks plays it in there. Mark Noble, too much time to stop and look up and pick out a claret and blue shirt. Look, there he is, looking. It's a lovely little ball on the volley. It's a terrific volley above Krul, and good save in the end.
Good action, Bowen to take it. A little bit tight in there. Klose almost headed that out of Krul's hands.
Yeah, Antonio did well, really. He didn't foul Krul, but he made it really difficult for the keeper to come and get that ball in. Maybe it's another ball the same. And then it's crossed by in the 6-yard box.
Another Bowen deliveries into a good area. Klose was caught there. Has to be a free kick. Quite nasty when he fell there. But up on his feet, okay.
That's the challenge. When you're doing a zonal defence here, you get people running at you and coming in there. You're going to get clattered a few times, and Klose was strong.
Got to find some cutting edge. Norwich City, they've only scored twice in the last 10 Premier League games. That's a loose ball from Fornals. Here's Hernández. That's good work. Ogbonna and Rice between them. And to patch up the damage caused by that stray pass. Bowen again. Klose getting across. Was once runners-up in the Bundesliga in his time with Wolfsburg. He's down injured on the far side, and the referee's going to pull back the play, with West Ham in quite a good position to develop an attack down the right-hand side.
Is when Bowen makes that run across the pitch there. Is he late? I think he's trying to block. To be fair, he's took the space in front of Klose. He's tried to block the clearance, and doesn't really catch him that much, does he? Much physical contact there. He's having a chat, but referee's deemed a free kick in that right back position, but I'm sure there was that much contact there.
It was interesting, when we had the water break, Daniel Farke didn't speak at all to the Norwich City players.
Yeah, I was looking at that, Ian. I was staggered at that, because I think it's a real good opportunity as a coach. Well, there must be a few things out there that he's seen that he wants to put right. It's very strange that he just sat on the bench.
Which must have been premeditated. He just thought, well, nothing to say, really, nothing to add. Maybe we hadn't talked about before the game. Here's Rice. He's done well, dug out a cross. Antonio, lovely control, velvet touch from him, and a slightly yippy challenge from Buendía.
Took a slight risk, didn't he, trying to win the ball. Antonio, lovely bit of skill there. Look, there was a bit of contact, but not enough to be a penalty. It's just there, he hasn't got himself in a good sort of position physically to make. He's saying he's dived, but I think there was some contact there, and there's a terrific position for West Ham now to put this in the penalty area.
I get the feeling it's West Ham who are carrying the real threat in the game. They've got one. Another shot from Bowen, which whistled wide. This comes the free kick. Antonio again! 2-0! He's got them both now. Just a little glancing header, that's all it took. And Norwich City are staring the championship fully in the face now.
Well, it's the accuracy of the header, really. There's no power in it. The ball's just floated in. It's not really whipped in. Noble decides to just float one in there, and that's far too easy. There's no defensive header there. Antonio, too strong, just jumps there, glances his header into the corner. It's not about power, it's about his direction. Beautifully little flick there that Krul just can't get to. Can't cover that space from that area there. It's gone too quickly. Look, beautiful header, little glancing header.
He really has been a terrific signing, really, for West Ham since they got him from Nottingham Forest some 5 years ago. A player who was discovered, really, playing non-league football for Tooting and Mitcham when he was a teenager. I'm sure they're pretty proud of the way his career has progressed from there.
He's certainly playing consistent, isn't he? Since the restart, he's looked as dangerous as any striker I've seen in the league.
But from Norwich's point of view, as you said, Glenn, it was another softish one, wasn't it, really?
A ball comes in like that, it's not like it's whipped in and you can't get in a good position. You've got to have a challenge. It wasn't, you know, a big centre-half coming above Antonio saying that this is mine, this is our area here, we defend this area. It's a poor goal to give away.
And Vrancic just lost out there as well. Antonio kept that alive. Here's Fornals. Have to go alone. Bowen's trying to arrive. Now he has. Beyond him and not far enough for Noble. Soucek. Noble wide, and Fredericks wasteful, frankly.
That was a lovely little move from West Ham, and Fredericks comes on the over. That's great play from Antonio. And Fornals just looks up, checks back, dinks it to the far post. I think he was looking for Noble, but they keep it circulating. There's a little overlap, and I think he gets in two minds, Fredericks. I think it's a ball across the 6-yard box, and I think in the back of his mind he was saying, shall I shoot?
Tettey long. Pukki's not going to win too much in the air, you wouldn't think, against those defenders. Buendía, good effort. And Fabianski is stretched into the punched save. Good effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a decent effort, wasn't it? I never thought it was going to be right in that corner where they going to give Fabianski a problem, and I think he got across there pretty easily and quickly and saved it. We'll see. It's a lovely little bit of skill from Buendía, but I don't think it was curling enough. I don't think it was in the top corner, was it? And Fabianski, a nice height for a goalkeeper.
He'll have enjoyed that one. One of 4 goalkeepers used by West Ham United this season. They had a spell when he was out injured, and it was the rather calamitous time that Roberto took over for a while. Alvin Martin's son, David, you might remember, the hero of the win that West Ham had at Stamford Bridge. And this is going exactly the way West Ham would want it. 2-0 up, Mikel Antonio at the star turn, no question about it. He's been clever today. He's been everywhere. He scored 2 goals. West Ham United on the verge of 3 priceless points, and Norwich City staring at relegation very fully in the face. Norwich 0, West Ham 2 at the break. Yeah, it's been a long time since they scored 2 goals in a game, as you'll know better than most, Jake. Thanks very much indeed. West Ham United were in a worse position than they are this season. Back in the 2006-07 season, they won the last 4 that year to finish 15th in the table. They'd love a finish like that to end what's been a difficult campaign on a higher note. It's certainly impressive in the first half here. In their claret and blue, of course, that's in once again to the man of the match so far by some distance, Mikel Antonio, with both the West Ham United goals. His noble Klose this time is able to get a boot to it. From Norwich's point of view, Glenn, they just look too much of a soft touch, aren't they, so far? I
said earlier, they look like a side you want to play against. You think you can bully the centre-backs, and they're very open. When they lose the ball, both full-backs are so high up the pitch. The midfield defensive player isn't really someone who's going to drop in quickly and cover that defence, so they're a good side to play against at the moment, they really are.
Here's Bowen's corner, cut out by Stiepermann. We do miss the fans and the atmosphere, but they can be back sooner rather than later. Flicked on again at the near post, the same routine that produced the first goal. Norwich must know it's coming as well now. Cresswell to play this one in. Here's Bowen. He's only got the 1 goal so far for West Ham since he arrived, but he's been a lively presence, all right.
Yeah, Mark Noble makes a great little run here, and as it comes back out, here's Cresswell putting the cross in. I was just wondering whether he was just going to little back flick there to Noble. Just the shot wasn't one of his better ones, was it? But he's in and around the action all the time in that penalty area.
If you want to enjoy the game without the added enhanced sound, as we call it, go to BT Sport Extra 1 HD. Nice piece by Simon Briggs in the Daily Telegraph today, saying the sound supervisor is the new master of atmospherics, the wizard behind the curtain. No Todd Cantwell at the start of the half from Norwich City, stays among the subs. We thought he might come on.
I thought he might come on, Ian. Yeah, I really did. I was looking to see whether they were warming him up, but no. I think he'll be on in the next 15 minutes.
Got 7 goals this season, Cantwell. Here's Lewis. Cutting that back, and it's away by Diop. Getting a little bit breezy here in Norwich now. Remember Watford losing at home to Newcastle United, and another big game affecting the bottom of the table, which means that if Watford continue to trail in that game, Norwich could save themselves with 2 goals here. Vrancic Good block on the cross from Bowen. It'll be a corner kick though to Norwich. Not easy trying to wage a relegation fight in an empty stadium. You have your home advantage. Couldn't help.
Now this is a classic situation where you want your home crowd behind you and just making you jump a little bit higher, run a bit harder, faster, longer. But they haven't got that luxury.
It's interesting that the bottom three, since the restart, have played 16 games and got 3 points between them. No wins. And just 6 goals between them as well. So the 4 points West Ham have collected since the restart, while nothing special, have been very, very valuable and given them a bit of a cushion, which they're looking to extend now. Here's Bowen. Good ball in behind, and they're claiming it's outside the box as the decision on Fredericks, who made the overlapping run.
It was a really good run from Fredericks, it really was. There's the challenge. And Lewis, in the end, just gets his arm across and brings Fredericks down, and it is outside the penalty area, and the right decision.
Only a foot or so in it, but that's enough. Remember, the line counts as inside the box. I think West Ham know that a third goal puts this completely to bed. Noble lays it across, and Rice, miscue from him.
Yeah, it was one off the training ground, wasn't it? But Rice didn't catch it at all, does he? There it is, look, lovely little run. Mark Noble, the pair of them, a little bit of eye contact. It's something they've worked on the training ground, but obviously you're looking to get a good strike, and Rice doesn't make that connection, does he?
Rice, the only West Ham player to play every minute in the Premier League this season. He's that valuable. Whether they can hold on to him, and you'll have read the reports saying that Chelsea in particular are interested. England international, of course, already 7 caps. Here's Fredericks for West Ham. Now Antonio. Not this time for him. Hernández to bring it away. Pukki on the chase here, but he's not going to outspeed Fredericks. Bowen. Noble looking to bring that ball in behind. Antonio again makes something of it. Guys were saying at half-time he has terrorised that Norwich defence today.
It's Vrancic here that's just gets done for pace. He catches Bowen there, and then he second attempt, but nowhere near the ball. Bowen goes to the floor, and rightly so gets another free hit.
To play it in, and again it was Antonio attacking it, and he's looking now for what would be a first career hat-trick.
That was a great ball in, that had pace and whip, and Antonio gets there first again. He gets that little glancing header. That's what he's trying to do, but actually gets too much contact. But a great ball in from Bowen.
You wouldn't bet against that hat-trick, would you, at this stage?
They do look susceptible, don't they, from set plays. You've got to say they've conceded 2 from set plays already, but every time there's a free kick and a ball goes in there, the marking's not tight enough.
Stiepermann, Pukki. Good build-up play, but Ogbonna's able to get the block in. Klose did well there, got a foot in. I'm sure Daniel Farke would have wanted a bit more tenacity from that defence, and was apparent on the 2 goals, particularly the second one. Antonio, one-on-one chance here, and a really good save, but on the rebound, Antonio has scored, and that is the hat-trick. The first he's ever got in his life as a senior player, and West Ham United 3-0 up and on the way to 3 points.
Well, again, we find that Norwich defence wide open. It's a lovely little clip ball from Mark Noble. He's got too much time and space. Look at that, knows the run. Just a little clip in between them centre-backs. First touch, excellent. Just comes back off Krul, doesn't it? Straight to Antonio, and he manages to get the head of it. That's a lovely little ball from Noble. First touch, excellent. Tries to bend it round Krul, but Krul's save comes back to him, and he's strong enough and tall enough to actually jump and get that. His reactions are really great. Just manages to, it's a half of a nod, really. You try and head that too much in, and it might go over the bar, so he's delighted to get that hat-trick.
Not been an easy season to be a Hammers fan, but they're loving that wherever they're watching. And they would dearly love to be here at Carrow Road, celebrating what is shaping up to be an absolutely priceless win. When it's your day, it's your day. Came straight back to him after Krul had made a good save.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Krul, if he makes it as a reactional save, if it goes wide left, then there's no opportunity there for Antonio. But it was excellent to run. He's been excellent all game. As I said, he's been West Ham's most consistent player in the last 3 or 4 games.
I think if you're a Norwich fan now, you probably just want this season to end and get on with it and see what can be done in the Championship next year. You've still got to go to Chelsea and Manchester City. Fredericks to get it away. Here's Jamal Lewis. Bowen, very, very hard, apart from the attacking threat that he's provided for the team.
Well, they have to. If you're playing against Norwich, the one thing they do, and probably to their detriment, is they throw both their fullbacks out so high. And if you're a wide attacking player like Bowen, you have to track that.
There's Bowen aimed again towards Antonio. What a day for him. Superb performance, and he'll have the match ball to take home tonight, as long as they remember which one of the match balls do you get with all these sanitised ones hanging around on plinths beside the pitch.
Noble looking to put him in again, and I think Antonio just he stopped. I think he was in. If he makes the run, Noble's saying you're in again. There might be another goal there for him.
Almost at the same time as Antonio was completing his hat-trick, Troy Deeney was scoring for Watford, who are now level with Newcastle United in a game that's going on at the same time as this one. 1-1, and that one at Vicarage Road, and even a point would be a decent result for Watford from that. Bearing in mind they are 3 points clear of the drop zone going into the weekend matches. Bournemouth are playing Leicester, aren't they, tomorrow? Villa have got Crystal Palace from memory. Palace showed some signs of coming back to some form in the second half against Chelsea the other night. Pushing quite hard, 3-2 in the end. Nearly 3-3 at the end as well. The pressure on the ball they were using it had gone down. There are 1 or 2 others around, as you will have seen. And the supposed to have a new type of ball. It doesn't deviate in the air so much, aren't we, next year? Stiepermann to Aarons. Hernández laying it off. Here's Vrancic this time. And Buendía couldn't quite bring it under control.
A little bit unlucky there, Klose. He's nipped in front of Antonio. In the end, did probably make the foul, but initially it was good defending.
Pablo Fornals getting a run in the starting lineup now. Not been an easy first season. Cresswell played across, and this time Godfrey stuck out a leg, and so did Klose. In between them, they stopped Antonio poaching a fourth.
Yeah, good play from Cresswell again. His time and his run's excellent today on that left side. Look, he's made up 40 yards there to make an overlap. Gets in there. It's good defending on the near post.
Noble, another clever ball from him. Fornals just goes on and on and on, doesn't he, in that West Ham midfield. Mark Noble, what a servant to the club. No wonder 35,000 people turned up when he had a testimonial.
Oh, he's been an excellent servant, hasn't he, for West Ham? And he can pick a pass, as he's proved today. He's hit 2 or 3 really stunning passes, and a lot of people think he's a defensive-minded player in midfield, but he can hit a really good pass. And today he's the one that's been joining as well as Soucek.
Too late now, but unlucky not to get an England cap at some point.
I think he had a couple of seasons ago, was it? Probably 3 seasons ago, maybe 4 seasons ago. He was outstanding that season. And the passing that he produced, I thought that if ever it was going to be time for him to go into the England squad, it was then, but it just passed him by.
Good ball that time. Buendía to Stiepermann. And then Hernández. Good effort. Just a little too close to Fabianski, but Norwich City, they're showing a bit of pride.
Yeah, he gets himself in the centre-forward position and shows a bit of strength, doesn't he, there? Look, turns, just can't quite get the connection again. If he really connects well here, he could end up flying in the corner, but that's good play. Just snatches at it.
Rice to Fornals. To goalkeeper Tim Krul. There might be some Norwich fans who are thinking they'd rather not watch this. Their side losing their place in the Premier League. It's something they've got used to, though, I think, over the years, bouncing up and down between the Championship and the top flight. Seems to be part of the DNA of the club in this era. Lewis. Buendía. Blocked by Declan Rice. Aarons to play it in, and the header's going to go well wide of the post. Vrancic was just a bit behind him.
Yeah, it was just behind him, Ian, wasn't it? It was a decent ball in. It was whipped in with a bit of pace from Aarons, but unfortunately just behind Vrancic. He can't get his head round it, can he?
Glenn, do you notice a difference now between the players from when the restart began? That they look sharper, fitter, ready now?
Yeah, they look much sharper mentally and physically. It was I think they had to adapt to having nobody in the stadium as well. That's been very difficult for them. When you're used to playing in front of thousands of people, suddenly that's new. So there's a lot of new challenges, but the league is settling down now. There's been some decent games.
Here's Noble. She wanted a bit too much time that time. Tettey. Todd Cantwell is going to come on shortly, we understand, for Norwich, getting his tracksuit top off. Things on here again for West Ham. 4 against 4. Antonio. Easy for Tettey to cut-out, versatile figure, Alexander Tettey, who has been used in central defence when needs be. One for Pukki to chase, but absolutely nothing doing for him today, just one header. And I think Pukki may be substituted quite shortly. We may get another chance to see this 19-year-old Adam Ida, who came on and hit the post. Almost rescued a point against Brighton last week. And looking over, I think I can see him getting his tracksuit off as well. So those changes imminent by the Canaries. Confident display by West Ham United, who've looked nothing like a relegation side here, the way they've performed.
No, they've performed really well here. You know, they've had too much time on the ball. Look, see Soucek here, no pressure. A little bit too much time on the ball, easy for them. But, you know, actually, they've punished Norwich. They've looked like they were going to score at any moment during that first half.
Can they acquire consistency, become a top half team in seasons to come? Good enough to beat Chelsea home and away this season. Bowen, nicely done, Antonio, not quite the last bit.
It was a lovely build-up play, wasn't it, from West Ham? They kept the ball, they kept patient. It was just Antonio's little flick that didn't come off.
Almost playing with a bit of a swagger, West Ham now. Why wouldn't you be 3-0 up?
It's confidence, isn't it? That's what happens when you're going 3-0 up, and there's other games they've been playing, they're thinking, wow, we haven't had these options on the ball. You know, sometimes they look up, they didn't have a player to pass to, they didn't have one option, but today they've got 3 or 4.
Tettey for Norwich City. Whose planning for next season has already begun. For young players, and they picked up a few bargains in their time. They were 33-1 to go up last season with the collection of players they had, but they did it in style. You see another of the youngsters, Josh Martin, shortly too, for Norwich City. He's going to come on for his third substitute appearance since the restart, Martin. And they might as well do that now, might they? Give these youngsters some game time.
I think the club on and off the pitch, they're going to be planning now for next year. The planning starts now. It's a terrible day for Norwich. Probably going to go down today, but it's a start of a rebuild and a plan for next year.
Looks increasingly as if West Ham's next season will again be in the Premier League. An 8th successive season in the top flight for the Hammers. Fornals, he wants one as well today. So here come the changes. I think Stiepermann's coming off. I think Pukki's coming off. Buendía is also going to be making way. the drinks, and a time to remind you too that later on we've got Liverpool, the champions, at home to Inform Burnley from 2:30. That's BT Sports 1 HD and Ultimate. On Wednesday, Newcastle v Spurs, who are looking to find some rhythm just at the moment. 5:30 BT Sport 1 HD and Ultimate. On Thursday, we'll have two games for you. Crystal Palace against Manchester United on BT Sport 1, and Southampton against Brighton on BT Sport 2. And don't forget, the FA Cup semi-finals are next weekend, and we'll bring you Arsenal against Manchester City, a great semi live from Wembley from 7 o'clock next Saturday night. Only on BT Sport for that one. It's busy, isn't it? Very busy.
We've gone from one extreme to the other, haven't we? No football to every day, I think.
All day, every day.
All day, every day.
Seems like that, doesn't it? Seems like we've gone through about 100 temperature checks on our way into the grounds. We're the privileged ones. Never forget that, of course. I do feel sorry for the supporters who have been unable to watch the best bit of the season. Really, the climax to it when everything's decided. That is tough. So those changes have been made. Adam Eder, Josh Martin and Todd Cantwell joining the action for Norwich City. Cantwell looks like he's gone into the number 10 role. Eder up front, which is where he plays. Got a hat-trick in the FA Cup against Preston North End and enjoyed some very nice, juicy publicity. Young Irishman from Cork. Martin on the right-hand side. Formerly in the Arsenal Academy, Martin making the move up to Norwich. Here he is with his first touch. Just to check on the team news there, bottom of your screen, Liverpool against Burnley, who have Chris Wood back in the starting lineup. He's fit again now to start. 4 changes for Liverpool. Stay with us, we'll have that coming up right after this one. Pretty certain now that this will be the day that Norwich City are officially relegated. Tough for Daniel Farke after all the glory last season. It's turned into a string of defeats. This is going to be an 8th successive defeat in all competitions. Remember, Norwich got beaten here by Manchester United in the FA Cup as well. They did take that to extra time, to the end of extra time, nearly before Harry Maguire got the winner. And that's the only time they've scored at Carrow Road since the restart. A long-range effort from Cantwell. Klose has overrun it and stayed down, and there might be something else for West Ham here. Fornals. So much space. Soucek. Fornals. Antonio. Bowen with the flick out to Ryan Fredericks, the former Fulham fullback. Noble, lovely ball. It's got him in behind. Fredericks got to pick the right ball, and Antonio's got another one. 4 now for him. Well, this is a day for him to put on the show reel and keep forever. 4 goals away from home in the Premier League.
Yeah, I said he was going to be looking for a 4th. was happy with his hat-trick, but there's goals there for him, and it's just too easy for West Ham. Again, it's a lovely little ball from Mark Noble here, just a little dink in behind. Fredericks just strong enough to stay on his feet and just takes his time, steadies himself, and then Tony offers himself just with a bit of movement, and 4 goals to the good. There he is, look, just has a little glance, steadies himself, and there's the run from Antonio, and a lovely little finish.
It's like shelling peas. He's doubled his tally for the whole season today. That hasn't been done too often in my memory. A player scoring 4 goals away from home in the Premier League. I remember Efanakoku doing it for Norwich City, in fact, at Everton. I think Ogbonna Solskjaer might have done it too as a late sub for Manchester United at Nottingham Forest, but those are just off the top of my head. Somebody will dig out all the official stats on that one, but it's pretty rare. Bet he can't believe it. It's a bit of a horror show, really, this from Norwich. They look like they'd take the final whistle right now, don't they, really, Norwich? Now, this is becoming pretty agonising, I would imagine, if you're a Norwich City supporter. The last player to score 4 away from home in the Premier League. And I apologise to him for not mentioning him. First of all, Harry Kane did it for Spurs at Leicester, 2017. I think West Ham are going to bring on Sebastian Haller shortly and maybe take Antonio off. He won't want to come off, he'll want 5.
He has played a lot of games, actually. He's one that David Moyes has stuck with and persisted with.
Fornals. Martin did his job well. Come on, nearly nipped in. Here's Antonio again. He's been altogether too much for Norwich City. Today he's never ever going to forget. And West Ham fans won't forget it in a hurry either. Oh, here comes the change. Yeah, it is Mikel Antonio. Now imagine the kind of ovation he'd be getting from the away fans here, maybe not the home ones. If there were supporters around, well deserved, but he doesn't get that. What he does walk off with, amazing satisfaction. Here are the 4 goals.
He's taken them really well, hasn't he? That one there was a reactional finish, and the 4th one is in that 6-yard box that offers himself with a lovely little run and a cute little finish, and a fantastic day's work there for Antonio. It's been excellent.
But denied the chance to get 5 in a game, but there are other considerations for West Ham. Even though they're going to get to 34 points, Mark Noble's come off as well. And Jack Wilshere's going to come on. He's out there. He's just looking after 2 prized players, really.
Yeah, a bit of protection in.
Remember, West Ham play Watford on Friday at the London Stadium. I think 34 points, looking at it, that's going to be enough, isn't it?
I think it probably will be. Yeah, I think it's a really big day for West Ham, and they're following it up, as you say, with a home game against Watford. I get the feeling that they're going to be safe.
And they've got a better goal difference to them Watford by 3, but that's gone up now to better by 7. They're boosting their goal difference, which is quite significant as well, significantly better than Bournemouth. Yarmolenko is going to come on pretty shortly for West Ham as well. West Ham are on easy street. They have been for a while. Kenny McLean has just come on. He's been carrying a bit of an injury lately on the bench for this game, but usually in the starting lineup, the Scot. Cut out by Soucek, who's had another good game, but all around the West Ham team there'd be players getting marks of 7 or 8, and in Antonio's case probably 10. Offside here. Was put into his own net in the end by Cresswell, but the whistle had long gone in truth.
Yeah, flag was up pretty quickly, wasn't it?
To deny Alameda.
Yeah, he's just gone a little bit early, hasn't he? Left foot offside.
Here's Cresswell. HalleRat trying to build up his fitness after a hip injury. Hasn't started a game since the resumption. So prolific for Eintracht Frankfurt last year. Remember they had a run to the semi-finals of the Europa League. I think they'll be hoping for better from him next season now that he's had a year to just settle down in East London. Here is Ida, the teenager, taking on Ogbonna, and just overrunning it in the end. More changes afoot. Remember, they're supposed to happen in only 3 windows, and as the players are getting fitter, I've noticed that quite a few clubs are not using all the 5 subs anymore. Don't want to disrupt the rhythm too much, but it is a bit of a luxury really for the managers now.
It certainly suits the top teams who've got the strength and depth in their squad, isn't it?
Yeah, 14 of the clubs voted for it. I have to say, for some of those 14, it might have been a bit like turkeys voting for Christmas. Yeah, Yarmolenko, I can see over there, is going to come on shortly. He's in the starting lineup the other day, and of course he was the man that delivered the winning goal, vital goal against Chelsea. Jared Bowen. Another good game from him. And Arthur Masuaku is also coming on. Watford now leading Newcastle United. Troy Deeney's got another goal, this time a penalty kick. They come from behind Watford, so this is a really big day, and it's terrible news really for the teams currently in the bottom 3, because it looks like Watford and certainly West Ham will extend their lead over the bottom 3. If they both go to 34, they'll have 6 points in hand, which will put massive pressure on Bournemouth and Villa tomorrow. Here's Rice, who retains his record of playing every minute. They're not hooking him yet. Soucek looking to get Yarmolenko in behind. Here's Ida to Cantwell. Hustled out of it by Fredericks. Well, when West Ham United play Watford on Friday, I think the winners can ensure their safety. Relax. You've seen Jack Wilshere out there. If memory serves, it was against Norwich he scored that wonderful goal a few years ago for Arsenal. Remember that team goal, which is one of the iconic Premier League goals, and it was Wilshere on the end of that.
And you're looking at him at the moment, and you think of his career. He was such a talented player, still is, but injuries have just held him back so far.
Well, he started 6 of a possible 72 Premier League games for West Ham United, which tells that story. It's a shame, really, because a player can't help it if injuries strike.
And I think with Jack, it's particularly one injury, isn't it, that's plagued him over the time, and you just hope that he can go for the next few seasons injury-free, because he's a talent.
28 now. Tettey for Norwich. Long-range effort from Todd Cantwell, who did score from the way out against Manchester United, but not that time. Lucas Rupp, by the way, is another player that's come on for Norwich City. To be frank with you, it can sometimes be quite hard keeping track of all the changes in the last 20 minutes of a game just at the moment. Ogbonna has come off. It's Buendía, isn't it, who's replaced him in the centre of the defence. Buendía, the Paraguayan. Here he is on the ball, first touch. Soucek looking to flick in one behind. They'd love it if they could engineer a goal for HalleRat as well, just to get him going again. It's Martin. There still will be games to play for Norwich after this, but this is the end of the road mathematically for them in the Premier League. This time around anyway. They have always seemed to manage to find a way back. It hasn't been as easy for some other biggish clubs as well. Look how long it's taken Leeds, who are on the brink, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, it's a tough league to get out of once you've gone down, but if anything, Norwich know how to do it.
Campbell will get the free kick. Josh Martin's going to take it. Cantwell rather has come over to take it. too long. A lot to think about for Daniel Farke, and a lot of thinking for Norwich City to do in the next few weeks. Stuart Webber, the sporting director. But however badly it's gone this season, they will be among the favourites in the Championship next season as Masuaku launches another raid for West Ham United. And that scoreline, 4-0, does not lie. It has been that one-sided.
Just get that feeling every time a West Ham player's on the ball, he's got so much time, isn't he? To look up, to pass, his options left and right, and it's just a matter of just keeping it 3-touch maximum, and you just play around Norwich. There's no need to run with the ball today.
Well, it's been a long fight for Norwich, and you don't like to say it, but it has looked today as if they've mentally kind of thrown in the towel a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if they've thrown in the towel, they're putting effort in, but they look forlorn, don't they? They look like a team that's waiting for the end of the season, and as I said, they've got to start rebuilding now. Now that they know they're down, it's going to be official today, and it's a rebuild now. Everything's got to be, you've got to be thinking about your pre-season, your recruitment, and the staff and the management, looking at new players, looking at what might be coming through. But it's a young squad anyway. It just looks to me as if there's not enough sort of power there in this day and age. In the modern game, you need a little bit of strength and power, and they haven't got that.
This is a very difficult question I've got for you here now, Glenn. Your man of the match?
Well, I've been racking my brains, and it's been a tough one today. No. Antonio has been different class. He really has. Everything that he's done, and as I've said before today, he's been in good form, I think, for West Ham. Even when they've lost matches, he's been their better player, and no, he's been outstanding.
You'd have wanted to know why. Scoring 4 goals in a game if he wasn't your man of the match. Well taken by him as well. Here's Yarmolenko. Masuaku. Other players had injury problems. Aaron's pushed out of the way by Yarmolenko, illegally so.
Yeah, it's a silly foul, really, isn't it? Two-arm brush off, but a silly foul in many ways. Aaron had nowhere to go, did he?
Certainly wasn't on the subtle side, that one from Yarmolenko. Of course, that's been one of the great Ukrainian players. Multiple winner of the Footballer of the Year there. And still no Premier League goal since the restart at Carrow Road for Norwich City. It's a tortuous occasion, this, for the Canaries. Looking for the return ball here. Martin couldn't quite find a way through. West Ham's biggest away win since 2007 for 13 years, and it means Norwich City are officially relegated from the Premier League after just one season this time. Daniel Farke's side are down. It's a sad, sad day for Norwich City, but I think they knew it was coming. But the man who'll make the headlines is Michail Antonio, scoring all 4 goals and away from home in what was a stellar display by him of smart striking. They know it's the end of this particular adventure, those Norwich City players, and no matter how inevitable it might seem, it's particularly distressing, particularly for the young players who've come through the ranks here. Our sympathies go out to them. They'll have the chance to bounce back, but they are down, and West Ham United have taken a big, big step towards safety. They were impressive today, particularly Michail Antonio. His day, 4 goals and Norwich 0, West Ham United 4.
Well, Michail, you've already got the ball signed. A special memento of a special day. Your first hat-trick, and you go one better and get 4.
Yeah, very first hat-trick, just buzzing. Someone just told me that it's very first player to do it in the Premier League, to get 4 goals in the Premier League as well for West Ham. So another little thing I can tick off. But yeah, it's an amazing day. Boys, unbelievable. 6-pointer. We go again. Watford.
You have been scoring goals of late, building into this one. Did you feel today, the manager's just told us that yesterday in training you were flying. Did you have that feeling today it might be your day?
Yeah, definitely, especially right at the beginning of the game. A couple of times I've managed to beat my player, get a couple of shots off and find my player. So, and they were quite open today, so it suited me perfectly, and which shows I managed to get the 4 goals.
And in one day you've doubled your tally for the Premier League this season.
Yes, I did.
Of the 4, is it possible to choose your favourite? Would it be the hat-trick goal?
It would be the very first one to start everything going off, but obviously the hat-trick goal just marks it all off. I managed to get my very first hat-trick, so buzzing.
And looking at it from the team's point of view, this was a big game for West Ham, wasn't it? Just 3 points between you and the bottom 3 going into this one. On paper, an easy game, but you've got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. On paper, you'll say it's an easy game, but then in the Premier League, anything can happen. No one, a team can turn up and anything can happen. So you've got to go out there and do the job, and we managed to go out there and do the job today.
Well done today, Michail.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations. Thanks for your time, mate.